All right, this is a quick review of section 9.3. So this was all the simplifying radicals. I'm skipping the ones in the beginning that are just simplifying with numbers, and I'm going to go to some of the harder ones where we've got either multiple variables and numbers or where we're multiplying. All right, so take a look at number 13. Let's do that one. All right, we need to simplify this radical, and the first thing I actually want to do is break it up because it's got a number, a u, and a v. So I'm going to break it up as the square root of 32 times the square root of u times the square root of v to the third. All right, and the first thing I'm going to take care of is that 32. So if you remember, this chapter was all about no decimals. All right, so instead of getting decimals, we made a factor tree and we looked for pairs. So we're looking for all the prime numbers of 32, the prime factors. So remember, we always just start with 2. So 32 divided by 2 would give me 16. 2 is prime. And then I can break up 16 as 2 times 8, and 2 is prime. 8 would be 2 times 4, again 2 is prime. And then 4 breaks up as 2 times 2. Alright, so the square root of 32 is really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's stuck in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then remember, we're looking for pairs because square root means the opposite of squaring a number. So we're looking for anything that's being squared. So now I can rewrite this as the square root of 2 squared and another 2 squared and then just another 2 by itself, right? This guy is lonely. He's single, so he's got to stay by himself. And then if we remember, we broke up our radicals. So the square root of 2 squared times the square root of 2 squared times the square root of 2 squared. Whoops, of just 2. Sorry, just 2. That 2 is by itself, right? 2 squared is here, 2 squared, and then 2. All right, anything that's got a radical and an exponent gets canceled, and we're left with just what's inside, which in this case was 2 times 2. And then this one didn't have anything to cancel, so it's just a square root of 2. And we can multiply those numbers in front. So 2 times 2 gives me 4, and then I'm left with the square root of 2. So if I didn't have any variables, I would be done. It would just be 4 times the square root of 2. But I started out with some variables. So I'm going to bring this along, and I'm going to say, okay, now I also have a square root of u and a square root of v to the third. Well, the square root of u I can't do anything with, so I'm going to put it with the 2. Okay, so 4 square root of 2 and u are both on the inside of a radical. Okay, I'm going to shove them back together. And then I'm going to look at my v to the third. That means v times v times v. Okay, I see a pair of v's, so I can rewrite that as v squared, and everything else is just staying the same. So 4 square root 2u times the square root v squared times v. So now I have 4 square root 2u times the square root of v squared times the square root of v. And I luck out because this one will cancel. So this v is on the outside. It's going to go with the 4v. And then 2u and v are all stuck inside still. So the answer there would be 4v times the square root of 2uv. So that answer would be choice C. Okay, that is our answer choice there. So number 14 would be very similar. So would number 12, number 15, okay? Let's take a look really quick at one like number 18. All right, so number 18, we're multiplying radicals. So the very first thing I would do is anything that's on the outside, I'm going to multiply those. So technically there's an invisible 1 in front of there. So on the outside I have a 2. And then on the inside I'm doing 3 times 15, so I get 45. Okay, now I'm just going to make my factor tree like normal with 45. All right, 45 is the same as 5 times 9. And 5 is prime. And then 9 is 3 times 3. Okay, it doesn't matter to me how you make your factor tree. If you saw the 3 and the 15 first, whatever, it doesn't matter. So now I have 2 times the square root of 3 times 3 times 5. And here's my pair of 3's. So that becomes 3 squared. The 2 is on the outside. That gets a radical, and the 5 gets a radical. And if you notice, I broke that up right away, so hopefully you're okay with that. And then those cancel. So now I have a 2 on the outside, a 3 on the outside, and then a 5 on the inside. And I can do 2 times 3 to get 6, so this answer is 6 root 5. So that is answer choice D right there. All right, that is it for section 9.3.